Listen up because I need to share something that's been living rent-free in my mind. You ever have one of those nights that completely blindsides you, that shows up out of nowhere and changes everything? Well, this random motel in the middle of nowhere became the setting for the most unexpected connection I've ever experienced. My heart still racing just thinking about it. Get comfortable, because this story, it's about to take you on a wild ride. If you love story about those chance encounters that leave you breathless, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe right now, because trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. I never planned to end up at this worn-down beige motel with its flickering neon and a vacancy sign buzzing louder than my thoughts. But sometimes life has other plans. The whole trip was meant to clear my head, driving through empty highways, windows down, music blasting, my brilliant solution for outrunning the confusion that had been following me for weeks. Let's be honest, more like months. Caleb was ideal in every way, thoughtful, steady, with that kind of smile that put everyone instantly at ease. 3 years together, and suddenly everyone wanted updates. When's the ring? Where's the house? Thinking of kids, the same checklist over and over. The truth was, every time he looked at me like I was his forever, I felt a strange emptiness where certainty should have lived, and I couldn't explain it, not to him, not even to myself. So I made it simple, just a weekend to breathe. And true to form, Caleb just kissed my cheek and said, "Take care of yourself." So here I am, staring at the outdated wood-paneled walls of room 12, feeling no closer to clarity. The air smells like a cocktail of bleach and mildew, and the bedspread, some faded floral mess, is sagging like it's given up. The TV is bolted up in a corner at the worst possible angle. It's already testing my patience. I drop my bag on the rickety chair near the window, collapse onto the mattress, and try to sort my head out. That's when the knock on the door shifts everything. For a moment, I think maybe it's the front desk with some mix-up, but the man standing there is definitely not hotel staff. He's tall, his hair damp from the rain outside, holding up a key identical to mine. His eyes scan the room behind me, then land back on me, one brow lifted, and I swear time just halts for a beat. "This is my room," he says, voice deep, but not unfriendly. I lift my own key like it's proof of identity. "No, it's mine, room 12C. He exhales long and a little weary, but not irritated. Must have been a mix-up. They told me this was the only vacancy. I'm ready to argue, then stop myself. Not really his fault, and honestly, I don't want to face that cranky desk guy again. I step aside and motion toward our glamorous setup. "Fine, but I'm not going anywhere." His smirk is small, but it does something to my chest. "Wasn't planning on asking you to." He sets his duffel next to mine and gives our deluxe suite the once-over. "Charming," he comments, eyeing the single bed, and suddenly that makes everything feel way more intense. I fold my arms, feeling way too aware of the space we now share. "Just for tonight." I say, more to hear myself say it. "I'll be gone by morning." "Same here," he replies, leaning against the wall, hands in pockets like he's trying to make himself smaller in this already tight space. We sit there in a strange silence. The rain taps harder against the glass. He watches it for a few seconds before shifting his gaze back to me. "What brings you out here? You don't seem like the backroads motel type." I hesitate, caught between a polite lie and the raw truth. Something about his tone, low-key but sincere, makes it easy. "I needed a break," I admit eventually, "from all of it." He nods like that's enough, no details needed, and honestly, it's exactly what I needed too. I find myself glancing at him when he's not looking. He's got that rugged traveler thing going, broad build, scruffy jaw, and these tired but steady eyes. There's something about his presence that makes the claustrophobic room feel less like a cell and more like a pause button. "You're not local, are you?" he asks after a minute. "No, just passing through." I tell him. He doesn't push, and I appreciate that. Then he strolls over and tests the edge of the bed. "Guess we're flipping a coin for the bed." I give him a look, trying to decide if he's serious. He chuckles, pats the mattress. "Relax, I'll take the floor. I've survived worse." Something about how casual he is makes me want to push back. "You don't have to be the gentleman," I say. "We can manage." The smirk fades into something quieter, more intentional. "You sure?" I nod, unsure if I can even speak. The energy in the room has shifted. What was awkward tension now feels like a current running just under the surface. "You look unsettled," he says, eyes searching mine, and the words come out before I can catch them. I don't really know what I'm doing with this trip or anything. He doesn't flinch. "Maybe you don't need to," he says. "Maybe you're just meant to feel your way through it." His words hang between us, weighty and full of meaning. He reaches for my hand, his fingers brushing against mine so gently it sends a current down my spine. I don't move when he leans in to kiss me. The first touch of his lips is cautious, hesitant, but It doesn't stay that way. His hands settle at my waist, drawing me closer. The feel of him is grounding and electric all at once. His fingers slide beneath the hem of my shirt, tracing slow lines along my back. His touch is both commanding and gentle, every motion leaving a heat behind. I press into him, responding before I have time to think. A soft sigh escapes me as his hands follow the curve of my spine. There's something powerful in the way he holds me, not like possession, but like reverence, like he's unsure whether to conquer or cherish me. I let my hands move over his shoulders, then down the ridges of his chest. The muscles under my touch tense and shift, like he's keeping himself in check. His breath grows faster, merging with mine as his lips trail down my neck. Soft, deliberate kisses that unravel me. I feel him ease me back onto the mattress, steadying me with one hand. The world narrows to just this, the heat of him, the sound of his breath, the way we fit together perfectly. He hovers just above me, eyes locked with mine, as if asking for silent permission. I nod, my hands gripping his shirt and pulling him close. His weight over me feels solid, comforting, freeing. His hands explore from my hips to my thighs, moving slowly, each touch deliberate and questioning, as if trying to read the language of my body. When we both seem to understand, the space between us vanishes one layer at a time until only skin remains warm against warm. His touch and kiss moving together in a rhythm that builds slowly, every moment more intense than the last. When he leans into me, completely aligning our bodies, the rush is overwhelming, like all my senses ignite at once. His hands cup my face, thumbs stroking over my cheeks as his mouth finds mine again. The kiss this time is deeper, fuller, like we've stopped resisting and given in entirely. My fingers trace the line of his back, holding him to me. Our movements sync as though we're writing something only we can understand. The weight of him, the press of every touch drives us closer to something unstoppable. The room fades until only our breath remains, the whisper of fabric, the sudden gasp when he finds just the right place. Every sound is a note in a song, building toward a crescendo neither of us tries to delay, and when it finally crests, we're both lost in it. Afterward we lie, still tangled up, his hand drawing slow circles on my arm, a silent way to keep me in the moment. A little longer. Morning arrives too fast. It always does. I wake to find him already dressed, tying his boots, coat slung over his shoulder, bag at his side. He notices me watching. Didn't want to wake you. You're heading out, I ask, pulling the blanket tighter around me. Yeah, he says and smiles, that quiet smile that flips my heart. Thanks for letting me crash. I want to say something, anything to make him stay just a little longer, but maybe this is exactly the kind of ending it was meant to have. One perfect night between the lines of my life. He opens the door, the morning chill seeping in, and pauses one last time, eyes meeting mine just long enough to make my chest ache. Take care of yourself. And then he's gone. I sit there a long time, wrapped up in his warmth. Even though he's no longer there, all the questions I left home with are still waiting for me, but now they feel less heavy. For one night, I let myself step outside the frame of everything I was supposed to be. Maybe it's not an answer, but it's a start. When I finally leave the room, the rain has cleared, the air is fresh and filled with something that feels like hope. I get in my car, hands on the wheel, and head back toward whatever comes next, carrying this secret night with me. Damn, sometimes I still catch myself thinking about that night. If this story hit you right in the field, smash that like button and drop a comment about your most unexpected encounter. Want more stories that'll make your pulse race? Hit subscribe. There's plenty more where this came from. Until next time, keep chasing those beautiful accidents.